The Journey of Dusk, the Brave Deer. Deep in the heart of the Whispering Pines forest, where the wind spoke in rustling leaves and the rivers sang lullabies to the moon, lived a young deer named Dusk. He was not like the others. While the herd was cautious and calm, Dusk was curious, always staring beyond the trees, wondering what lay beyond the mountain ridges that rimmed their world. Dusk was born under a red moon, and the elders often said such births marked a creature destined for a great journey. But to Dusk, stories were just that, stories. Until the drought came. The rains that once filled the streams with sparkling water had stopped. Grass turned brittle, and even the mighty river that flowed through their valley slowed to a whisper. The herd grew anxious. Food was scarce, and danger lingered more than usual. The wolves grew bolder. The forest grew quiet. One night, under a pale crescent moon, Dusk overheard the elders whispering about an ancient spring far beyond the Ember Ridge, a place of eternal water and blooming green, hidden in a land guarded by shadows and forgotten paths. Dusk's heart stirred. That night, as his herd slept in a hush of fear and fatigue, Dusk stepped out from the glade, leaving behind the only world he knew. His journey began with the rising sun. He crossed dried streams and silent meadows where once birds filled the skies. For days, he moved alone, guided by instinct, by dreams he couldn't explain. On the third night, he met an old fox named Whistle, who limped with age but had eyes that had seen too much. "You're heading to the old spring," the fox said, watching Dusk with curiosity. "But it's not the thirst of the mouth that draws you, it's the thirst of the soul." Dusk didn't understand, but the words stayed with him. Whistle offered him a shortcut, through the murmuring hollow, a place many avoided due to its eerie stillness. But time was short, and Dusk was brave. He entered the hollow as mist curled around the trees. There, he saw visions, ghosts of old animals long gone, shadows of wolves that howled with no sound, and a massive tree shaped like an open eye. The forest tested him, whispered doubts into his ears. But Dusk walked forward, heart steady. When he emerged, his legs were tired, but his spirit felt stronger. Crossing Ember Ridge was no small feat. The rocks were sharp, and the winds howled like ancient spirits. As he climbed higher, a storm brewed, thunder rolled like drums of war, and rain lashed his back. Dusk slipped more than once, nearly falling into the gorge below. On the ridge's peak, a bolt of lightning struck a nearby tree, setting it ablaze. In the orange glow, Dusk stood firm, facing the fire with wide eyes. He saw his reflection in a puddle below, scarred from thorns, covered in mud, eyes filled with a resolve he never knew he had. Beyond Ember Ridge, the land softened. The trees were greener, the air fresher. And there, nestled between hills like a secret kept by the earth, was the old spring. Water bubbled up from crystal rocks, and flowers unknown to Dusk bloomed in colors that danced. But the spring wasn't unguarded. An ancient stag, taller than any deer Dusk had ever seen, stood before it. His antlers were twisted like roots, eyes glowing like the sun. "You seek water," the stag said. "But what do you offer in return?" Dusk lowered his head. "Not for me, for my herd. They suffer. I don't seek to own the spring, only to lead them here." The old stag looked into Dusk's soul. "Then you are ready." The stag stepped aside, and the spring sang louder, brighter. With a mighty cry, Dusk ran, not away, but home. When Dusk returned to Whispering Pines, he was no longer the curious fawn they knew. He was a leader. Guided by his scent and call, the herd followed him across the dried lands, past the trials he once faced alone. And when they arrived at the old spring, their joy echoed across the valley. Dusk never sought praise. He only wanted his family safe. But the forest remembered him. And every red moon, a gentle wind still whispers his name. Dusk, the deer who walked into the unknown and found life for all.